Welcome to One Question at a Time, the TSI series. Question number 113. In a modern laboratory, the populations of E. coli bacteria doubles every 25 minutes. If the initial population of the bacteria was 1,000, which of the following expressions gives the populations of E. coli n minutes after the population started, assuming ideal living conditions? So to start this problem, we know this type is growing problem, and the growing, they will have like the new populations. That will be the initial populations multiplied by the rate to the powers t. This is how they, what like the percentage of replicate. Okay, so this kind of like the percentage of replicate, and this one t is stand for how many times the numbers of replicate. So in these questions, we know that they have the initial populations. P naught is 1,000. You have the information about the number of replications because they say every 25 minutes they will double. That's the keywords. And also they say it's the ideal living conditions. This is really important in science. And then they say after n minute, what the populations of E. coli bacteria. So to apply, we just write down P that equal P naught is 1,000 multiplied by the rate is the percentage. So it double, it means 2 multiplied by 2. Usually it's the percentage. Okay, so in this case, it's double mean multiplied by 2 every 25 minutes. Okay, so T, the number of rep right here, that will be equal to the total number of minute and divide by 25. Okay, so how we know that? Okay, you can try like this. So every 25 minutes, you will have 1 rep. Okay, how many times, right? So if you have n minute, how many replication time will happen? So we cross multiply and then divide by the rest. Okay, so cross multiply and then we divide by the rest. So you see that the number of rep right here, T, that equal n divided by 25. Okay, so this one will be n divided by 25. And then we have the answer. Okay, the answer is 1,000 times 2 to the power of n divided by 25. Okay, so if we don't know or we don't remember the formula, how can we solve for this problem? We plug in because you know every 25 minutes, right? So if n is 25 minutes, You know that if n is 25 minutes, it means the population is double, right? So after 25 minutes, the population, you know, it double will be 1,000 multiplied by 2. That's going to be equal 2,000. Okay, so now your job is just plug in and to see which one gives you 2,000. So in this case, you see that right here, it gives you 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. Okay, that's tricky to do that, right? But at least you have something to look at. And then this one, it gives you really big numbers. It's because, as you know, 1,000 multiplied by 2 to the power of 25 times 25, that's really big. As you know, 2 to the power of 10, that is 1024. Okay, so this one is really big numbers. It's not 2,000. Okay, so this one, the first one we consider, we leave it blank, but this one is totally wrong. Okay, now this one, when you plug in, you have still 1,000 times 2 to the power of 1, that's 2,000. And then leave it blank because you need to compare which one is the correct one, right? Then the last one you will have a 25 is still like the second one. It's really big. 2 times 1,000 to the power of 25 times 25 is really big. So this one totally not. Now we go back. If you change this one into 25 times 2 is 50. If it's 50 minutes. Okay, now it's different, right? If it's 50 minutes, means you double it, then double it again. So you will have the P of n equal 50. That is 4,000. Because this one is P of n equal 25, right? It's 2,000. Now you double it again. It's 4,000. Now if you plug in here, you will see that 2 times 1,000 to the powers, you square it. And you know this one will be 2 and then 0 for 1,000, and then you add the 0, right? It's really big. It's not 4,000. So you know this one is not. Now check for this one. You will have 1,000. You multiply by 2 to the power of 2. That is 4,000 exactly. So this one is the correct answer. So if you don't remember the formulas, making sure you go through all of them. Just don't plug in the first one and then you see, oh, it's 2,000, and then you check the first one. That will be tricky because we don't remember the formulas. We need to be more careful. Have to be more careful with those kind of like the trap right there. Okay. So how about if we kind of remembers the formula just halfway through? What I say halfway through, you know that P, the populations, will be equal to P naught, double mean times 2, but you don't know what is the exponent part. Okay, so based on remember halfway through, you can eliminate this one for sure because it starts with 2, and that is the rate. It's not like the initial populations. So you cross that, and then you cross that as well. Now you're left with this 2. Okay, now when you live with that 2, what happened is you just plug in try n equal 25, right? And of course this one gives you like really big numbers compared to 2000, so you eliminate this one as well, and then this one is the correct answer. So this is kind of a simple questions if you know the formulas, because you don't need to check a lot of math, do a lot of math here. But in case you forgot the formula, you know you can always plug in. And be careful for the trap. Thank you for participating in this series, and see you next time.